The Punisher One Last Kill special finally came out on Disney Plus, and it was great for what it did, but what it did was unfortunately retell the Punisher's origin story again.
No! No!
And that was one of my main fears when this special was announced in the first place, that it was going to be him hanging up the skull once again and not wanting to be the Punisher anymore, just for him to become it again in the end. And for the most part, that's exactly what it gave us. It did take some time to give a little refresher and basically say, hey, forget about the Netflix show, and did a soft reboot, with more of what came before. It once again gave us the same thing and didn't really progress his character at all, which was another big fear of mine that I had mentioned in my previous Punisher video leading up to this special. And One Last Kill starts off with him in a dark place, still suffering from PTSD and the loss of his family. And that can be expected. It's a big part of his character, which we could basically assume is what was going to happen from the teaser trailer. But the good thing about it was, they didn't really spend too much time on it. And we pick up with Frank Castle after he's finished killing members of the Ganucci family, and he's still struggling mentally, but is trying to operate with some type of normal routine. And although he's still dealing with the loss of his family and hearing voices, seeing his fallen comrades, and not knowing what's real and what isn't, he's still managing the day-to-day, even if that means drowning himself in a bottle and putting his body through intense workouts until his hands bleed. He's surviving. It's all clearly taking a mental toll on him and draining his energy while also being conflicted. He once again decides to hang up the skull and no longer be the Punisher. And that decision stems from the loss of purpose he feels after killing the remaining mob members that were tied to his family's death. He's clearly tired and no longer knows what his purpose is, which is the same things we've already seen in previous iterations of Jon Bernthal's Punisher. But luckily, it does it in a quick manner, and he heads home to find the final member of the Ganucci family waiting for him. An older lady, crippled in a wheelchair, calls him by name. He stops. She starts explaining to him how her family was taken from her, and that they are one and the same. She needs his help, and while she's explaining what happened to her family, she expresses how he is the one that took them from her, and now they are both lonely, and she will never forgive him for what he did to them, and now he is the one that needs to be punished. And she has every crook and crud of the streets coming to this very spot, and at 6:47, they will begin to hunt him down until he breathes his last breath. And that entire buildup takes about 20 minutes or so of the special. It doesn't feel like it's that long, but it is. And from then on, it's all out hell. Beating guys up, he's gunning guys down, shooting his way through the apartment complex, just trying to get away, giving us that Netflix level violence that I wanted, and that Disney level CGI that I didn't ask for. But more importantly, the punishing is what I was hoping for. It's got that action, which is what you should be getting from anything Punisher. Basically going full pedal to the metal for the rest of the special, they hit the nail on the head with the combat and the action, but where it truly struggles is doing anything different with the character besides the basic storyline they keep using. Now, Jon Bernthal wrote it, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's not the best, but it's clearly inspired by the Welcome Back Frank comic, and so it feels that the whole goal was to say, hey, we haven't seen the Punisher in something solo in years, so there's a whole new generation that hasn't been properly introduced to him. So let's go ahead and refresh the character so we can properly move forward. And I think Bernthal writing and co-writing with the director made a big difference because it saves a lot of the wasted time that would have come from a whole writing team who has also never written for the character working on it. It also has some real recon Marines in the special to give a little nod to our military and veterans, which was really cool to see, considering the military is a central part of the character. And Jon Bernthal understands that, so to incorporate it was a really nice nod. But the main issue with the story is, it just doesn't go anywhere, and that's because it's not given enough time to properly execute the full beginning, middle, and end. And it could continue in the future, whether that will happen or not is unknown. But now that he's officially decided he's going to be the Punisher, and the special ends with Frank seemingly coming to terms that he needs to be the Punisher and that's his purpose, it's something that I hope they will remember for the future, so we don't keep having this repetitive storyline anymore, so there's no reason for another soft reboot or for more of the same. So after this, he better do something where he is the Punisher and has the outfit the entire time and doesn't burn it or tuck it away in another footlocker, and that it doesn't make it another last minute thing that we just get a little taste of.
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
It's becoming annoying, and it's honestly due to the special being so short. It was 50 minutes total, but actually around 44 minutes or so if you don't count the credits, and that's the main issue. It felt it was finally getting started, but then just ends, and it doesn't really have a third act that was fully fledged out. And when the Punisher finally starts speaking, it's over. I mean, like, he has no speaking lines. It's him by himself most of the time. So a lot of the acting is his reactions to things emotionally in his head, and that's upsetting that he's really not talking, but for the emotional acting, it's very, very good. But when it comes to him punishing, it was fantastic. And yeah, he doesn't wear the skull again, which is annoying, but 2 of y'all called it in the comments of my last Punisher video, which was hilarious to see. So good predictions from you guys. Upsetting that it was so easy to predict that, but not a surprise with the history of this character. It's an emotional story for sure, and they pull on your heartstrings going the John Wick route with the homeless man's dog in the beginning. But it does the best it can with the time that it's given. So I'm going to call this a soft reboot to refamiliarize fans with the character. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything new. Great violence with a decent story. I just wish it could have been fledged out more. And even though he's not wearing his skull, seeing him finally going around and punishing so much was a great change of pace. It's just unfortunately we didn't get more. But now with that being said, he's the Punisher, and it seems like that's what he's choosing to be. So now we should be able to go into Spider-Man, him fully Punisher, and then from here on out, everything he does, he should be the Punisher. So that'll be cool. But that's my thoughts on the Punisher One Last Kill. Did you like it, or did you feel like it was just more of the same? Does this make you want to see more Punisher, or are you guys kind of fed up with this character at this point? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. But until next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Let me tell you something.